What a game of football that was last night. They're a good team. They are they're better than they were last year. I'll tell you that right
Yeah.
now. They spent £15 million on a boy, Noah Lang from Bruges. Excellent. Other side boy, Bakayoko was different class. And the big boy in the middle of the park scored the first goal, Sangare. They've got some really, really good players. Big ask for Rangers to go over there, but they're giving themselves a chance.
So you make PSV strong favourites now?
Um, I'm not sure I go strong. I would definitely say, like before the tie, I had them slight favourites, and nothing's changed my mind there. On the ball, they were excellent. Really, really comfortable. But they take chances at the back. You know, that's the one thing I would say. They do take chances at the back. I mean, Rangers scored. I don't know if you've seen them. I don't think you have seen them. Obviously, if you never go to the game, Rangers scored two brilliant goals. Seamer stuck one in the top corner, and Matondo's finish and the move and the pass from Dessers was brilliant. And they do take one or two chances at the back. However, got to say, going forward, Sabari in the middle of the park with Sangare, and the two front boys, and particularly in the wide areas, really quick, really dangerous and direct.
Yeah, next will you be out in Eindhoven?
Yes, mate. I'm doing the game from Eindhoven, so I'm out there.
It's not the biggest of stadiums unless they've expanded it.
Well, I don't think so. I've not been. I actually made my international debut there, but I've not. I think that's the last time I've been. I think it's the one and only time I've been there, to tell you the truth. Not been there, so. But Rangers, you know what it's like. Rangers will take a big support over there, full of optimism and hope. And they did really, really well last year, you know. They ended up winning 1-0 to qualify for the Champions League. I tell you what made a big difference last night, Al, honestly. Goldson playing, the two centre-backs played really, really well. Goldson and Suter were strong and played, you know, the PSV forward line very, very well as they could.
Yeah.
I'm just and thinking about it, last year in the Champions League was a bit of a disaster, as we know, for Rangers, and Conor Goldson was out injured, so he made a big, big difference last night.
Probably a fair result, to be fair, but I think that first half was a tough watch. PSV very, very good. Rangers had to defend really well, but yeah, I was there. Looking forward to the game next week, and it's in the balance.
Yeah,
it's funny, Kenny. I was listening to David there, and he's probably spot on with his assessment when he says at times during the game outplayed, however during the 90 minutes never ever outfought. I don't know whether you agree or not, and you and I were talking before the game. I think that my concern for Rangers, particularly in a game like that, and it was really evident last night, was the lack of width and the lack of attacking flair, if you like, players particularly in wide areas that can go by people and create something. I thought they really had it in Bakayoko and Lang, whereas Rangers, you know, they were trying to play through and maybe cross balls and things. I think that was one of the differences between the teams.
Yeah, listen, it was. I think when you see the PSV team, I mean, they're a very, very good team going forward, because I think even Saibari, I was really impressed with him. I've seen him a decent start to the season as well, but he can travel with the ball, he can outplay an opponent. He's definitely going to have a goal in him as well, like he has already got off the mark for the season. But it just seems to be the way Michael wants to play. You know, like he likes having these players in the middle of the pitch, getting overloads through the middle and combining with each other and staying relatively close to each other. And like, as you know, you've said it many a times that Barisic and Tavernier give you the width. What he has got, though, he has got like guys and he's got weapons on the bench, like we've seen last night. Matondo coming on, can come on, Danilo can come on, Tom Lawrence coming back as well. These guys can come on and impact the game and maybe give Rangers a different threat attacking wise. So I thought they were better the second half, Super, to be honest with you. Like,
I agree.
The first half, they had to suffer a lot, they had to defend a lot, they had to stay organised, they had to clear a lot of crosses and deal with a lot of runs and good movement for that PSV front line. But they kind of handled it, and I can't really think of too many really clear-cut chances that they conceded as well. So in that respect, I think it's a decent enough job. Despite when you're watching it, you can get nervous because PSV had so much of the ball and were doing the majority of the attacking. But I did feel in the second half there was more emphasis on being a wee bit more aggressive. There was a wee bit more attacking quality as well. And the one thing, I think you said it before the game as well, that they're no great at the back. You know, I don't think PSV are brilliant defensively. They do try and play out. I think they take a lot of risks. And without sounding disrespectful, I'm not sure they're good enough, the boys at the back, to actually play that way. And you've seen that with the first goal right on half-time, by the way, which was completely against the run of play, you know, but Rangers gave themselves that lead. So I think there's definitely positives and things that Michael can learn going into next week.
On Wednesday, do Rangers have to be patient, Kenny, or should they just go and try and take the game to them?
You know, I think they will be patient. I think it'll be the nature of the game, Alan, because PSV will start again. I'm sure they'll have the majority of the ball in front of their own fans. Again, they've billed this themselves as like a revenge game in terms of what happened last season. So they'll be turning up. The fans will be turning up expecting PSV to go and dominate like they did for long spells last night and go and take the game to Rangers. And it might play into Michael's hands, you know, because like I said, last night they never conceded too many clear-cut chances. I thought they defended well, something they're going to really have to do next week. And it'll be interesting to see the team selection because, like you seen with the second goal with Matondo, there was a real kind of counter-attack element to it, and that might be something that'll come into Michael's thoughts next week in terms of his selection. Will he go with a guy like Matondo who's got the pace? Will he stick with Sima, who has obviously got good legs as well, or will he go for something completely different? But there's definitely things there I think Rangers can exploit going into next week. But there's one thing for sure, and they're going to have to defend a lot. They're going to have to be concentrated, and they're going to have to be right at the top of their game again.
Quick one for you, Kenny. I said to Al earlier on this morning, do you know one of the big differences for me, if not the biggest difference? They played Champions League football last year, which wasn't a success, but the man that was missing was Connor Goldson. He came back in the side last night for the European game. I thought him and Suter, I know maybe Suter gets done a little bit for the second goal. You can argue he gets caught underneath it and maybe gets a little bit of a shove. But I thought the two centre-backs, in particular Goldson, I thought they were magnificent, Kenny. I really did.
Agree. I thought he was absolutely outstanding last night, and he's maybe looked a wee bit rusty. I don't know what his pre-seasons looked like in terms of his injury and things. I don't think he had too much action in terms of the pre-season games. But last night he was a rock. And what I think, Ali, is this: Suter was solid as well, but Suter without Goldson is not quite the same, you know. And I think even Tavernier on the right back, I think his relationship with Connor Goldson, I just think Connor coming into the team and being there, and like you say, he missed a lot of the Champions League campaign last year. Having him there, it just improves Rangers massively defensively. And you're right, last night he was a rock. He headed everything, he tackled everything, and he looked right back at the top of his game.
Kenny, I've got to break, but just going away from Rangers to Hibs Villa, do you get him any chance, Hibs?
In a word, no. Aston Villa under Unai Emery are a really, really good team, really well coached. I mean, they've started pretty well. I mean, it was a wonderful result at the weekend for them to go into this game. Hibs will have a lot, again, you talk about Rangers having a lot to defend. I think Hibs will have probably more defending to actually do it. So it's a brilliant game for them. It really is. They've come through the 2 rounds, and it's good that they're at this stage. But I think Aston Villa will be a step too far.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Alan Brazil, Thursday and Friday morning 6 till 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.